we need to do the whole discography. Welcome to the podcast about two guys who grew up in the 90s listening to grunge and pretty much overlooked everything else. Let us take you on a journey to find the music that we missed out on Stuck in My Generation. As I was saying, we need to do the whole discography of that 30-second countdown. I was grooving on that, you know?
I was
feeling that. I want to say something, but I'm not going. I was just feeling it. So welcome back to Stuck in My Generation. It's me, it's Bark, it's Hicks, and I'm going to hand it over to you after one sweet line.
Say it.
Hicks and are you okay with me disclosing the information of what we both did yesterday?
Be my guest.
Okay. Me and Hicks got our 5G activated yesterday. We got the chip in a month ago, and then we got the 5G activated. The aliens can beam me up. I get the best signal ever in this arm and in this arm because I switched them up. But we got the COVID 5G super spreader serum. I feel like a super soldier actually. But yeah, I just feel like I'm radiating cell phone signals. How's it going?
I feel like I have a bullet stuck in my arm. I've never had a bullet stuck in my arm, but
so how do you know what it feels like, Hicks?
So I don't know how. I don't ever want a bullet stuck in my arm.
Gotta assume that's what it feels like, I guess.
I assume that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a ride!
That was my left arm on shot number 1. I went to put some apple juice in the fridge. And I was like, and I had to grab it with my other hand and finish putting it up. And I was like, this sucks. Anyways, good to go. So I'm in a studio full of no people now that I'm vaccinated. So shit's the same. Shit is the same. Nothing changed.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what was more exciting than this week's musical topic. Not say anything yet. We're not. It's a calmer type of music. Dire Straits is that what we're doing. That's what we're doing tonight. But the 5G was more exciting than the Dire Straits. It was a little bit more exciting. But so we did Dire Straits this week. We gave you guys the heads up, and hopefully you listened along. Hopefully, and we'll. Let's talk about what we've listened to this week before we go into Dire Straits.
Good.
I feel like the word tool happens a lot on this podcast. The word Yellow Wolf happens a lot on this podcast. And I'm going to say it again. Yellow Wolf dropped another album. Third one in 4 months that Yellow Wolf has dropped. And this time it was with some DJ. I don't think it was Mixmaster Mike. I don't know who it was. It might have been DJ JR Swisher. I don't know who it was. But
DJ Paul.
DJ Paul, the alien Paul from the Seth Rogen movie. DJ Paul.
That's right.
Solid stuff again. Really digging the Yellow Wolf. I was on the mower yesterday and jamming to some Yellow Wolf, and then some really slow, mediocre song came on, and I was cussing on my mower. People were driving by, and they're probably like, "Look at that old man cussing on his mower." I'm like, "Dag nabbit, malarkey whippersnappers." Pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yellow Wolf, been jamming that. New Greta Van Fleet album came out today. I was super pumped about it, and I'm not pumped about it anymore. It's not that good.
Really?
No, they knocked that Heat Above song. They put that out, and it was fantastic. And the rest of the album pales in comparison to that song. So fuck you, Barker. You don't get any great music again.
No shit. Yeah.
I wasn't digging it. It's not bad. It's just, they sound original on Heat Above, and then the rest of the album sounds like Baby Zeppelin.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
Dire Straits. You ready, or you got words to say before we jump into Dire Straits?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess I've been switching it up back and forth. Like you said, we always talk about the Tool. I was switching. I was listening a little bit of Tool.
I like how you say that. Tool.
That's the whiskey. That's
like their dirty pirate band.
And it can be anything. You turned me on. I had no idea the new Yellow Wolf album. I got halfway through that.
Did you just say you turned me on? Because I didn't know I accidentally did that.
You turned me on to the new Yellow Wolf album. I had
Great.
no idea.
Okay. I'm
Hey,
glad I didn't just turn you on. We've been friends for a long time, but I don't want to have that effect on you.
No, you don't have that effect on me, sir. But
Now I'm offended.
You do keep me in the loop. I would
try.
probably not have known about this album. You keep me current, and I appreciate that. I rely on you.
You have done that for me though as well. I forgot about the Yellow Wolf, and you reminded me of him, and I've been digging him since. It's always a nice back and forth. So it's helping each other in a non-turn you on way. Just helping each other out.
Yeah, I switched over to a little bit of Queens of the Stone Age.
Oh, I love Queens of the Stone Age.
I do too. No shit.
Big fan.
I don't know enough about it, but for some reason I had the Desert Sessions on my phone, and I kind of picked up on that while I was mowing some grass.
Love mowing grass.
I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I know you don't.
I despise
who does? Why would somebody enjoy
Some
mowing
people
grass?
do. Some people do. Some people love mowing grass. Some people love smoking grass. But some people
like Dire Straits. I think I think the people like Dire Straits like to mow grass.
How dare you? I can't wait to tell you my thoughts on this band. How dare you say that about one of the greatest bands of all time? Some people like Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Mowing grass sucks, though. This just in, mowing grass sucks. If you like mowing grass, let us know in the comments. Do you like mowing grass? If you answer yes or no to mowing grass, we will enter you in to win a t-shirt of a podcast that I used to do that's no longer up and running. You can win it. You could win that podcast t-shirt.
Coming right now. I like to mow.
Got like fucking 50 of them sitting over there. I'll give all 50 people that say yay or nay to mowing grass a t-shirt. I tried selling them. I'm about to drop them off at Goodwill.
Oh yeah.
Real close. And then I'll get publicity for a podcast that I don't do anymore.
Sure.
Dire Straits.
Right. Dire Straits.
What are you familiar with? What is your history with Dire Straits, Mr. Captain Hicks?
I think I know the common songs, the Money for Nothing. I knew of. I'm sorry, I've been drinking. The Money for Nothing, I knew of it. The Walk of Life, the Sultans of Swing. Yeah. So beyond that, I really didn't know about Dire Straits. I know a couple people who really enjoy this band, and now I know why.
Could you name those people? I'm not going
to name those people.
Fair enough.
It's not you. But
how do you know?
But now I know why.
How do you know, motherfucker? It might be me.
I get that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have enjoyed them. It's happened before.
Yeah.
Let's let's dive into Dire Straits. So Dire Straits, this is a band that I have very limited run with. What I do have with Dire Straits is I love the song Sultans of Swing.
Yes,
it's one of my favorite songs probably of all time. Like I'd put it in the top 50 songs of all time that I just absolutely love. I think it's a great song. Quit your fucking laughing, Hick.
I thought you were gonna say number one.
No. But I love that song, and it
song.
Got me excited to hear the rest of this discography. Sure. I was really excited to hear it. So we dive into album number 1, 1978. Self-titled album called Dire Straits. That's what self-titled means. The fireball has got me. Hicks, do you have anything to say about this album? That's an open-ended question. We did this all week. Do you have anything to say about? James Ward says, heck yeah, I like mowing grass. Good time to ride and drink beer. Hey. Spoken like a pure Jackson, Ohioan. James.
Yes, Mr. Ward's
drinking beer.
He gets a t-shirt. He might get 50 t-shirts.
He gets a t-shirt. 1 or 50, your choice, James.
I'll support. I'll pay for the shipping label.
Don't he live in Jackson? I could just drop it off in his mailbox.
Yeah. Back to Dire Straits. Man. I don't know.
You look refreshed, like you just drank a tall glass of Dire Straits, and you're like, Dire Straits.
Such a good musician. Such a good guitar player. I think so.
Yeah.
As
Such a good guitar player.
Technical. I think the vocals, and I'm doing an overall. Maybe I shouldn't do an overall since you already mentioned this first album. Fuck it. The vocals end up being kind of like a byproduct of the music, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I kind of struggle. I'm not a big fan. Bob Dylan was such a good songwriter.
Nailed
Bob
that.
Dylan was not a really good singer. I can't hardly listen to. I respect Bob Dylan. I don't want to listen to I can listen to a few songs.
Yeah. The Times They Are Changing is a great song.
Oh, he has some great songs.
I don't even know if that's what it's called, but it's a great song.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but man, just the vocals, the similarities, and man, this band, I get the impression that this band is stomping down on the gas. I feel that they're still at like 60% of where they should be.
Dire Straits?
Dire Straits, yes, sir. Not Bob Dylan, Dire Straits.
Based off the first album,
Based off the first album, yeah.
Based off the first album.
And I kind of looked to see what what people thought of these albums, and I checked two different sites. Two different sites claimed that this first album was ranked number 1, and for the most part,
number 1 in what contest?
Number 1 as far as their discography.
Okay.
Lineup.
Well, it's got the best song in their discography on it, so I would probably agree with that.
Yes, it does. Beyond that one song, man, I kind of felt like my ears needed Band-Aids. I mean, I hate to be disrespectful, but
it's so here's how I'll sum up album number 1. I almost feel like we're ripping the audience off a tiny bit, but I again, to stay true to ourselves and what we're doing here, Sultans of Swing is the only good fucking song on this album.
Yeah.
It's the only good song. It's like they come out with a single off this album and they knocked it out of the park, and the 8 songs that are also on this album sound like Chicago versions of Sultans of Swing.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm sorry not to be disrespectful, it's lame.
Sure.
The rest of this album is lame. The clean guitar sound is present throughout, but the technicality of Sultans of Swing is not all throughout. It's soft, and you brought up a great point with Bob Dylan, because Mark Knopfler, while I like his voice on Sultans of Swing, I'm like, oh, I really like what he's doing with his voice on this song. And then you listen to the other 8 tracks, like he's doing the same fucking thing with his voice on these songs. And that thing is, well, I was going down the road, saw a horse and Lil Nas X, and we rode. Okay, Mark, I get it. You're a very boring. Surprise me, Barker, says James Ward. Oh, with how many t-shirts? Oh, would it be a surprise? All right, motherfucker. Anyways, so yeah, you open your mailbox and there's no room for your mail. But
should be on a dolly.
And there will be a couple Dire Straits albums in there too. But anyways, the rest of the songs, the guitar is clean and just kind of, picking, but it's not even close to the level of Sultans of Swing. And I just couldn't believe how bored I was with the rest of this album. I could not believe how bored I was. And it kind of made me sad that I was that bored with this album. I literally have no other songs on this album that even slightly entertained me or made me want to do a little ditty with my foot on the ground. There was nothing. I mean, just straight to the point. There was nothing else on this album. I discovered on this first album anyways, that Dire Straits were at that time, in my opinion, to me, a one-hit wonder. And that song is by far better than anything else on the album.
And I'll tell you what, man, I mentioned this before offline, and to let the world know, I'm a fake guitar player. I'm a wannabe guitar player. I tried to learn this song a little bit. and it is such a technical song. And I had no idea, and I'm talking about Sultans of Swing. I had no idea that this song was off their first album. You said
I didn't either.
78?
78.
1978. 78. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's a great song. I still feel the same way. It's great.
I do too. And I watched a live performance of this song from, I don't think it was 78, but it was pretty damn close to it. And just how easy it was for them to perform live and how hard it was for me. I mean, they just made it look easy. It is easy for them. And it's such a good song. I love it.
It's a great song.
Some of the other songs, the song Water of Love, I have it was a pretty good melody. I enjoyed that tune. But the name of the song,
you got more out of this than I did.
The name of the song and my notes say the song name makes me think of a beverage forced upon me by a cult leader wearing a purple robe with Brian May hair. No, I'm good.
There you go.
So, water of love. I don't want your water of love.
I do not want your water of love. Real quick, my homeboy, the repeater, Aaron Butcher, says, I play air guitar. And he said, I'm actually selling it if you know anyone. So if anyone out there is in the market for an air guitar, the Butcher's got it for sale.
Let's ship it to James Ward.
Let's ship it to James Ward with a t-shirt from an old podcast.
Yes, sir.
We'll wrap the air guitar in it. That way it protects it. But I'm glad that you got something out of this, the Water of Love song.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's great.
I'm glad. Love it. I didn't love it.
Okay.
But man, the lyrics, the third track, setting me up. My notes, you're setting me up all right for fucking disappointment. 70s Clapton meets Waylon Jennings, which I'm a fan of Clapton. I'm a fan of Jennings. The vocals aren't deep enough. I'm not believing it.
Yeah.
It's like the band, they're playing it safe. Just take the chance, roll the dice.
That is the perfect way to describe the album. I feel like they played it safe the whole way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Put yourself out there, man. Just take the chance. The song Six Blade Knife, kind of a Tom Petty vibe, a bad Tom Petty vibe. I said Tom Petty already did this. Kind of a slurred vocals.
Six blade knife, you said?
Six blade knife.
I got you. I see it.
Which I'm slurring now, but the vocals were kind of slurred. I couldn't finish listening to this song. Man, the Southbound Again track, I thought it's kind of like a decent cake with mayonnaise for icing. When the vocals kick in, it's just
like Cake the band, like with the mayonnaise on that cake shit.
It's
short
like
shirt and a long mayo jacket.
Yeah. So other than
remind me not to hit the fireball before these episodes.
No, do hit the fireball.
All right.
So other than that, man, it's just Sultans of Swing. What a classic song. I love that. Every time I hear it, it gets my attention. I love it.
It's a classic. I will say that this band, when they went on tour in support of this album, I bet Mark Knopfler's voice was the best rested voice in all of rock, because how hard are you going to strain it going like, I walked down to the guitar store and bought an air guitar.
Yeah, and I
sing like this the whole time for like fucking half an hour. It just, he never gets excited.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this earlier. We were listening to some rap, and I don't remember who we were talking about, but I made the comment that I like my rap like I like my rock. I want it to punch me in the face.
Exactly.
I want it to just be like that.
Yes.
And rap like Yellow Wolf and rap like Kanye. And it's like, they end their words so hard, that it hits you. And Mark Knopfler is like stroking you like a kitty cat when he sings those words, man. It's like, you got me purring a little bit, but it's not from enjoyment. It's because you're just so soft.
That's what I said, man. It's like they're at 60%. Go ahead and smash that gas. I mean,
those bastards are going 45 and a 60 the whole album.
Either smash the gas or get the hell out of the way.
And that's not to say every band needs to rock ass. Like, there's somebody's grandma's out there listening to this right now. having a time of her life, rocking back and forth in the old rocker, just thinking it's a good solid jam. But I just, I like soft music, and I've brought up Taylor Swift a bunch on this, and her, her new indie folky acousticy stuff, and Ray LaMontagne that I've suggested to you, and Mumford and Sons, and like I like mellow music quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't like mellow music where some guy is singing less than Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan barely sang anyways. This guy sings even less than Bob Dylan. I mean, he's literally, this is like going to a fucking spoken word concert.
Yeah.
That's what Dire Straits is like on this first album. I don't want to listen to spoken word. I do that shit every Friday night.
Yeah.
I want to listen to it.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw something out there. I guarantee that I know a couple people that are Dire Straits, or they claim that they enjoy Dire Straits. I'm not going to name them.
Initials?
But I kind of told them that
James Ward.
No. But I told them what was going on this week, what we were reviewing, and they're like, oh yeah, I like that sound. But I guarantee I would put a lot of money down that they couldn't name 5 Dire Straits songs.
And that's okay. That is okay, because we couldn't either. And if somebody would have said to me, do you like Dire Straits? I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Exactly. Maybe like, have you heard the whole first album? Like, no, just Sultans of Swing. And they're like, listen to that first album, then tell me. And, the answer now is never again. Never again on that first album.
Yeah.
There might be a surprise waiting, but that first album is a never again for me. Sultans of Swing, I'll listen to it every time it comes on.
Yeah.
That's it for that album.
That's all.
Nothing else.
Hey, I was
disappointed to say the least.
Yeah, I agree.
Disappointed to say the least. So then we move on to 1979. They didn't waste any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 70s. They're like, let's bust this out just like every other band during the 70s. And we get an album. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I want to say Communique. But I don't know if that's true or not. It looks like a makeup. Looks like some brand of makeup. Communique.
Yeah.
This album contains such great hits as Once Upon a Time in the West, News, Communique, Lady Rider. Lady Rider is actually on their greatest hits album. Single-Handed Sailor, Follow Me Home. I didn't give a shit about any of those songs.
Oh my gosh, I tell you what.
None of them.
After this, I went through this album and I felt like I just listened to a 76-minute long song.
It was terrible. There's no other way to spin it. It was terrible. And by this point, I'm listening to this album over and over saying, please, God, open the clouds. Show me the light on this band. What am I missing? And I kept trying and trying and trying, and no clouds parted. No light came down, and I was bored as shit. I mean, this was, again, every single song was just like, ting, 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 Lady Rider. Like,
yeah,
what's going on? I thought this band kicked ass. This guy's got so much skill playing a guitar. Yeah. And with the Sultans of Swing, I was like, I really enjoy this clean guitar sound with his level of expertise and technical prowess. And it's just like he never learned how to push it to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
This second album is just like B-sides of the last album.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And when I attempt to play guitar, I try to cover up my lack of ability with effects, whereas this music, just like you said, the technicality is there. Such a clean sound. Oh my gosh, just put it out there. You've got it going for you. Just like, I don't know what was holding them back.
Man, I don't know. There's so much potential there. I feel like there's so much untapped potential, at least through these first 2 albums. Stay tuned, because there might be a surprise. But where the fuck is that surprise at? But anyways, there's just so much room for more. And I think that they tap into that later, and we'll get to that point. I don't want to say we'll get there, because I say that all the time. It's my new catchphrase. We'll get there. But this band just has, these guys are really, well, I don't know about the rest of the band. Mark Knopfler is really talented playing guitar. He probably should have turned vocals over to someone else after the first album, because it doesn't work. It's just not, There's nothing. I've never seen Mark Knopfler's name in some kind of list of vocalists. I mean, there's no vocals there. He never goes above this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought it's like they invited somebody on stage to sing. During a concert, just some stranger came up and was singing. Kind of
probably blew Mark Knopfler out of the water.
Probably.
I mean, any random dude, just bring him up to sing, and the whole band's probably looking at each other afterwards like, Mark, you need to just play guitar. We really need Jose to be the lead singer of this band.
Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. Out of all the artists that we've listened to, this Dire Straits is my least favorite. Their discography, their catalog.
We're not even close to the end of the discography.
I can't hold
with you 100%. I was bored as shit. Bored as shit.
I wasn't a fan of Wu-Tang, but I would take Wu-Tang over Dire.
And I like the Wu-Tang, but Wu-Tang's not going to stick with me. Exactly. So I'm with you there. Wu-Tang all day. But man, we'll go on to the next album.
Sorry for
No, it's good. I mean, this podcast would be ultra repetitive if for every album I'm like, and this album sucked again. It would be the second half of Black Sabbath all over again. But making movies, the songs are Tunnel of Love, Romeo and Juliet, Skate Away, Express the Love, Hand in Hand, Solid Rock, and Less Boys. I don't know any of these songs. I listened to all these songs at least 3 times, hoping something would catch me. Yeah. And it was more B-sides from the first album. And I was like, I saw that this band had a greatest hits album. And I was like, how do they have a greatest hits album?
I didn't even know that. That didn't show up on my lineup.
They have one. Wow. They have a greatest hits album. And if you're a big Dire Straits fan, I'm sorry, but I don't see enough songs to make a greatest hits album. So far, we've got Sultans of Swing.
Does it have 3 songs on it?
Yeah, but no, God, where is that thing? I'm gonna have to find it.
I'm interested to know what songs are on there.
Oh my God, man. I'm not trying to just be goofy or funny. I mean, listen, Chicago, I'll mention them again. When I was growing up, I liked Chicago. I remember laying in my bed as like a 10-year-old boy, just fucking rocking out to Chicago and that horn section and that just smooth jazzy rock sound. I genuinely loved Chicago. And to me, compared to this band, Chicago is Slayer compared to Dire Straits. Chicago's that much more exciting than Dire Straits.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I can't name one Chicago song.
Nor can I. But I remember being 10 and thinking, this is, I could at least move my head.
It wasn't Dio.
Move your head with Dire Straits.
It wasn't Dio. It was Chicago, not Dio.
I'd rather listen to Dio than Dire Straits.
Oh, me too.
My friend Brandy Ann says, I love Chicago. I did too. We might have to revisit them. Warning, it's not hard rock, but I mean, Chicago was pretty good to me, especially if you play it backwards. Satan rules all things. Anyways, so the Dire Straits, very best of Dire Straits. That's a fucking funny sentence. I'm spitting all over the place. It's so funny. Sultans of Swing, Lady Rider, Romeo and Juliet. No, they're not. Those aren't hits. Tunnel of Love. They're just picking out catchy names.
They're just
Private Investigations. Cool name for a song. Twisting by the Pool. Cool name for a song. Love Over Gold. So Far Away. I'm not going to name that one because we're going to talk about it. Brothers in Arms. Not going to name that because we're going to talk about it. Calling Elvis. Heavy Fuel on Every Street. Your Latest Trick and Wild Theme. None of these are hits.
That album's bullshit.
None of these
greatest hits. They're fulfilling a contract. That's just bullshit. Can you do me a favor and look up how many albums that sold?
What
the greatest hits, please.
Oh man. Okay, the very best of Dire Straits sold. How many? I don't know if Google's going to understand me. They're like, Google's going to tell me. Google says, quit drinking Fireball.
And I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
No, you're good. I don't know. That might be hard to find.
Okay.
because I don't know if it registered enough sales to register.
Okay.
I just don't think it did. I think they put that out, and
It was all the band members plus their mothers 10.
Yeah, it was just too late. So we've got 1982 Love Over Gold, which is the next album, has a big old strike of lightning on it. Woo! 5 songs. The first one being 14 minutes. Telegraph Road, Private Investigations, Industrial Disease, Love Over Gold, and It Never Rains. Let me tell you, folks, there ain't a fucking song on here that's any good.
No, and I have a movie soundtrack-ish dramatic openings followed up by pure awfulness.
Okay. That is 100% accurate. And thank God that this happened at this time when we got a comment. Brandy says, I do have to admit, I love the music in Money for Nothing. The lyrics, not so much. There's 2 talking points. Thank you, Brandy.
Mm-hmm.
One of which I also love the music in Money for Nothing.
Yes.
Money for Nothing, which is on the album we're transitioning to, which is Brothers in Arms, which is considered one of their best. Money for Nothing is a really cool song. And maybe I missed something, but I think it's the first time they use distortion.
Yeah.
I think it's the first time they're like, plug that pedal in and see what it does, Mark. And that song rocks ass. It has some words I don't like in it, some homophobic slurs.
Yeah.
But apparently that's saying from the perspective of a appliance center worker talking about George Michael. So apparently, you shouldn't take it as literal as it sounds. It says the F word as in a gay slur. I hate that word. I hate anything hateful at all, period.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for this 5G chip in my arm. I fucking love that. But anyways, that song is awesome. I feel like this is where Dire Straits should have went after Sultans of Swing, was to expand into this sound that's on Money for Nothing. Like, that's a fantastic song, a fantastic video. My dad introduced me to this song when I was young, and I was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
It had that riff. That
that's great.
His technical prowess comes into play there with distortion, and it's like, God, you guys missed the boat.
Yeah.
You should have been doing this the whole time, Mark.
Yeah.
Like, that song is awesome, and it's okay to talk about it now because it's the second song. By the way, the first song on Brothers in Arms is So Far Away. Doesn't fucking matter. It sucks. Money for Nothing is good though, and this is where, and that's on their greatest hits. Thank the sweet Lord above. But I mean, this song is actually good, and this is like a taste of what could have happened with Dire Straits. And guess what? After Money for Nothing, you get to Walk of Life, which is great because that's a fun song.
That's a fun song. Man, I tell you what, I wish the Beatles would have done that song, the Walk of Life song.
Would have been great.
It would have been great.
Would have been great.
That's what I said. But to take a step backwards, the Money for Nothing, just that opening riff, I hear that. I think I hear it playing in a stadium. It's just
it's so good.
It's just good. What a great riff. It's just so good. Love it.
And this is another song where Mark Knopfler's voice actually works. He's like, you please get on the MTV. And it's like, I'm digging this, man. I'm digging. He's got a little bit of growl in his voice. Yeah. There's some distortion on the guitar. Like, so many missed opportunities. Fuck my mic too. So many missed opportunities. And I was so sad because I was like, I heard this song as the second track and I was like, shit is on now. Shit is on. We're going to get more of this. And we did not. We did get Walk of Life afterwards. And I was like, oh, this album's going in new directions. This is groundbreaking material for Dire Straits. And it fucking quit right after that. It went back to like, it just went boring. It was stiff as a board and it went limp right after those 2 songs.
It went so limp. And I'm a big fan of behind the scenes. I actually went down a YouTube rabbit hole. This is kind of off subject, but I I went on to the Metallica, Some Kind of Monster with
Hate to interrupt you. Have you watched that? The Some Kind of
Monster?
No,
I'm sorry. Wait, it wasn't Some Kind of Monster. It was the documentary where Bob Rock was producing.
Okay. Some kind of monster that was like a mix of a live concert and a
I'm
I
sorry.
want to
take that
say
back. You're right.
like 1/3 concert, 1/3 animated background, 1/3 live action acting. I'm not sure, but that is a really cool thing to watch. Some kind of monster is.
Okay. Well, thank
Or
you.
maybe it's something else. I don't think it is some kind of monster. You go ahead. I'm gonna shut up and look that up.
Okay. But
I'm gonna find the facts.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm probably incorrect, but I was watching Bob Rock pull shit out of Kirk Hammett, who was throwing down these really, really bad solos, and Bob Rock was really on Metallica's ass and really pushing them. And I thought,
you're right. It is some kind of monster that you were talking about.
Okay. And I thought, this is what Dire Straits needs. They need a Bob Rock. They need somebody on their ass, just pushing them until their fingers are bleeding because it's there. It's just they need somebody to bring it out of them. And they didn't get to that point, from my perspective, from my opinion.
Through the Never is what I was talking about.
Okay. I got you. I'm with you. Good shit. Yeah.
Good shit.
But
Brandy, while you're listening, if you're still listening, do you like any other Dire Straits? I'll wait for your response. But Kirk Hammett, man. I mean, you were watching some live Metallica stuff. Like I watched Enter Sandman live in Mexico, and I haven't cared about that song in a really long time. You better fill that shit up at Cup of Empty.
Yeah.
I haven't watched or cared about Enter Sandman forever, but man, them playing it live in Mexico, and they kind of changed it up, made the solos longer.
Yeah.
They sped the tempo up about a half a step, and it was it's amazing. Like it's literally amazing. You told me about a Dave Grohl interview with Lars Ulrich on an Apple Music podcast thing. Fantastic. You know, it's probably talking about Metallica because we wish somebody would have rocked our ass this week and it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I was switching back and forth to. But just like I said, you know, the Dire Straits, I just wish somebody was on their ass saying this stuff sucks. You guys do so much better. Just hit it.
Yeah.
You bunch of pussies.
Rick Rubin needed to get in there and throw some freaking beats in there and it'd be like,
yeah.
I listened to more Beastie Boys this week. I listened to Yellow Wolf. I listened to Metallica. I listened to that Greta Van Fleet album. I listened to, I even tried the Offspring's new album a little bit.
They have a new album.
They do. Yeah. And they've got a song on there that's trying to rip off the Pretty Fly for a White Guy vibe and trying to get people on their goofy shit. The Offspring are a really actually good band if you overlook some of the missteps they made with their commercial single.
I believe that.
There's some good shit. I mean, there's some really good shit from the Offspring, but you know, I was just grasping Nas. We started listening to Nas. That may be next week's episode. Probably will be at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just Kendrick Lamar. Listened to a lot of Kendrick Lamar this week, and I got to listen to a lot of shit because Dire Straits just let me down. And I'm sorry if you're a fan. More power to you. Not everyone's supposed to be the same. You know, I don't love mumble rap, but lots of people do. I don't love Luke Bryan and country where they talk about, you know, going redneck crazy and dogs and beer, and some people do. I don't. If you like Dire Straits, that's great. But I'm going to sum up this last album called On Every Street from 1990. There's not a good song on it. Again, in my opinion, there wasn't one single song that caught my attention or made me stop and listen. I just was more disappointment. And to follow up what you said earlier, no band that we have done on this podcast was more disappointing to me, just an opinion, than Dire Straits. I was bored to death.
What year was I totally agree. What year was the On Every Street album?
1990.
That was 1990, really.
1990.
You know, I heard that very first track, Calling Elvis, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'd be embarrassed to be a part of this. It was so bad.
Yeah, so bad. And Brandy says, the only ones I've ever heard is Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, and So Far Away. It's So Far Away? I don't even know that must not have grabbed me because I didn't add it to my list.
You said it sucked.
I don't like any of them.
Track number 1 on Brothers in Arms right before Money for Nothing.
Okay.
So
And she said, for some reason, never listen to any more. Good on you, Brandy. Don't even try it.
Don't do it, Brandy.
I mean, maybe it could work out. I don't know. But she said, I guess I got my fill with those ones.
Brandy gets a t-shirt.
You get a t-shirt, Brandy. You get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate. I'm surprised that we've gone 40 minutes on this topic of Dire Straits.
I thought we were going to start talking about, I was going to ask you what your favorite candy bar is. I thought we'd get into an argument about that.
Let's keep going. Let's we'll revisit and do a little more wrap up, but that's a tough one. I have to say it's a tie between Whatchamacallit and a Reese's Fast Break.
Oh, that's good. Good.
What's yours?
I'm going to say Snickers or Whatchamacallit.
Hey, just the fact that you have Whatchamacallit in there, and Snickers is high ranking on my list. That's like walk of life in candy bar mode there.
I'm going to ask you, I want to say this shit right now. Dire Straits is like the Three Musketeers.
I don't mind Three Musketeers. I'm going to
say what the hell is that?
Dire Straits is the Almond Joy of candy bars. And if anyone wants to list their favorite candy bar in the comments, you go right ahead. I will name them because we only spent 40 minutes on Dire Straits. So what's your favorite candy bar, listeners? Let us know. Did you ever eat a Frozen Zero from the Jackson City pool? I did. It was delicious. Delicious. But yeah, I had a fast break yesterday actually, and I probably had to watch Whatchamacallit not that long before that because I'm I'm really wanting to keep this dad bod on lock. So, but yeah, Dire Straits, man, I still love those songs. I still think Sultans of Swing is one of the better songs of all time, just from a technicality on guitar standpoint, and his voice works with it, and it's just a really good, nice, just a cool song. Zero bar. That's right, Brady. But I'm done with them. I will never listen to any songs besides the 3 that I like, which are Sultans of Swing.
That's it.
Money for Nothing and Walk of Life. And Walk of Life is like just kind of in there. There's a lot of 80s songs that sound similar to that with the whole, with the loud keyboard or loud, this or that. But really, it comes down to Money for Nothing and Sultans of Swing. So
I totally agree. Yeah, top 2.
A king size what, Brandy? A king size 0 bar or something else? I mean, that's more interesting than Dire Straits. So let us know. What do you watch it? McCall it. James, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, Hicks, what were you saying?
I don't even know. I'm thinking about candy bars. No, I don't know.
I'm always thinking about candy bars. I did have a Kit Kat today too. Man, I've been eating a lot of. I need to slow that shit down. This 5G shot's got me eating candy bars like crazy. Fifth Avenue. I'm down with Fifth Avenue. I'm down with Fifth Avenue, James.
That's like a classic. Those are hard to. I don't even think about Fifth Avenue anymore.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
What's a bad candy bar?
What's the one with the money?
$100
grand. $100 is good. Payday's good.
I've got love for anything. Well, I don't want to say anything, but the caramel. I've got love for.
Oh yeah. Not a candy bar, but Ghirardelli squares, the caramel squares.
Oh shit.
Tapping out on that shit. I'm just I got off. Those are the best. Those are the best. I mean, you just stick. I weigh a little bit. I'll put that whole square in my mouth and break it in the middle with my tongue.
Oh. It's just like little angels dancing on your taste buds.
God, that's a Sultan of Swing right there.
That's a Sultan of Swing. Yeah.
That's how I do the walk of life. Give me a break. Break me. I'm not repeating that line. Fireball makes me repeat everything on the chat. You could literally say anything in the chat, and I would repeat it on this podcast.
It's all right.
Anyways, Dire Straits totally disappointed us to the point to where on. I think on Tuesday we're like, should we make this a 2-band episode and do Dire Straits and Kendrick Lamar, or Dire Straits and Nas, or Dire Straits and something else? It was that boring. Real quick before I forget, my wife made a good suggestion because I talked to her about our desire to our desire to do the Prince discography.
Yes.
She's like, well, why don't you just listen to Prince in between your breaks and do it like 6 months down the road? Just take notes as you're going. I'm like, You a smart motherfucker.
That's
Look at the big brains on Brett. Her name's not Brett, but
that's a good point.
She did have a big kahuna burger.
Yeah.
If you know that reference, I'll give you a t-shirt.
Pulp Fiction.
You motherfucker. You gave it away.
Sorry.
I wasn't talking to you.
I'm sorry.
You could have asked me for a t-shirt and I'd have gave you 7.
Somebody can have my t-shirt. That's a good point. Prince, there's a lot of artists that gosh, what's Prince, like 29 studio albums or something crazy?
39.
39.
It was 39. Yeah. I mean, he's 30 away from 69. He's halfway there.
He's halfway there.
He's halfway there.
That's so, oh my gosh, that's so many albums. Yeah. That's
good homemade point. Buckeyes, says James Ward.
It's hard to beat.
Those are hard to beat. Say what one more goddamn time, Brett. Thank you, Brady. But yeah, it's Nos is probably going to be the topic next week. We're not leaving you quite yet. We're still going to have some fun. We can't go to bed on this level of alcohol. I mean, right. I can't. I don't know if you can.
I can't either.
Okay, let's drink a few more and talk about some shit. But Nos, it's I was digging what we listened to as far as Nos goes. Yeah, digging it quite a bit. So I'm excited to listen to more of Nos. He is considered. I think he won. Oh no, wait. I think Kendrick Lamar won a Pulitzer.
Really?
For his words, yeah.
Okay.
But Nos is a wordsmith as well.
Yes, he is, and he's kind of he's not related, but he kind of slides into the our generation, kind of that timeline. But man, you and I both him. We both discussed this offline. We kind of overlooked him, and what I heard was good. What you got?
I'm just proving the point here.
Prove it.
You can keep talking.
No,
I was just taking a little picture here.
I'm thinking about your picture in candy bars.
I wish I had a picture of a candy bar. That's hanging on my wall. It is a Pulp Fiction poster, so it's very fitting that we were saying Pulp Fiction lines. I was just proving that I'm a big fan of that movie. It's probably
that's one of my favorite of all times.
It's one of the best of all times. Easy.
Oh my! What was in the suitcase?
I guess
Marcella's soul.
I guess it was his soul. I mean, that's the most common outcome. Yeah. I'd like to say it was Mark Knopfler's guitar hand. His unused guitar hand, is like his underused golden guitar hand. It never got a chance to grow any duller because he didn't use the motherfucker very much. I don't know. Marcellus's soul. That's my guess.
That's my guess too.
I wish Tarantino would tell us. Just say it. Maybe it was Django's penis. I don't know.
Yeah. I actually, I drove by the, I don't remember what the diner was called, but the diner with Honey Bunny, and I was actually right there. Yeah.
Tim Roth and yeah. Stay cool, Honey Bunny.
Yeah.
Stay cool.
Yeah. Good shit.
Love it. Might have to watch that this weekend.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of Tarantino movies I haven't seen now. I've kind of fell behind. I didn't watch The Hateful Eight. I didn't watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I fell behind.
I won't spoil any for you.
You've seen them all?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't spoil them for me.
No.
Anybody out there listening got any suggestions? We're pretty sure we're going to lock in Nos. We were digging it pretty hard. I think I only listened to 1.5 albums. Maybe. What did you do?
I kind of hopped around a little bit. I listened to some of the highlights, the suggested songs. So I really didn't dig in too deep. But like the first 3 or 4 songs that I heard, I thought, shit, this is really good. How did I miss this?
Yeah, I just didn't like rap. It wasn't our generation. It was 90s, and the 90s was like late 80s. And then the 90s was the peak of our musical growth, I would say. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't into rap enough back then. I liked Tupac, and I liked Eminem in 99. And there's a couple of, Dead Prez, Public Enemy. I had my people that I liked in rap, but Nos I just overlooked.
Me too.
So I'm kind of excited to dive into that one, because at least if you a while back I looked up the best hip hop albums of all time, and Nas's Illmatic is way up there.
Okay.
as are a few of his others. I guess he never completely lived up to the Illmatic stamp. I mean, that was supposedly his greatest. But I mean, from what I've heard, he had some other really good stuff. So first album beat the hell out of the whole Dire Straits discography.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Whooped it, man.
Yeah.
Whooped it. And Kendrick Lamar, when that comes up, man, I was I'm taking notes on what I listened to that I haven't heard. So it's not like we're cheating. Like I'm still jotting down little bits. So you know that this podcast is going to go in that direction. We're going to have to, you know, jump around a little bit. If we ever do Prince, it's going to have to be done over a 6-month period.
Yeah.
I've listened to an album here and there. So, but me and Kendrick Lamar really, not that first album. Me and you both agreed that first album was shit.
Yeah.
He did not find his rap chops on that.
Mm-hmm.
But he found them pretty quickly after.
Mm-hmm.
James Ward says, I see Hicks going to the gas station to get a king-size candy bar because he's still thinking about eating one. LMAO. What is LMAO? Is that band that sang Summertime? New Kids on the Block had a bunch of hits. Fast food makes or something sick. Something.
Do it in a Dio voice.
Fast food makes me sick. You just want me to add on to the Dio outtake that I posted on the
Oh my
Tickety
gosh, I love that. My whole household was laughing there.
That was your idea. That was your idea.
That was good. That was
I even
good.
told my wife, I was like, look what Hicks made me do. And like, she did not find it as funny because she knows that her husband's on TikTok doing TikTok. Fucking shit. She knows that her husband's on TikTok doing that crap.
That's good shit.
So
love it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a celebrity in my own household. There's also a video before that on my TikTok, which I'm almost ashamed to say I've got a TikTok. But I was folding socks one day and I kept coming across all these holy ones. So I put on I think it was the beat from Keep the Heads Ringing by Dr. Dre. Ding ding dong.
Mm-hmm.
I put that on the tickety tockety and I made a little rap and showed myself folding a pair of socks. I was like, socks with holes, socks with holes. You got to throw away them socks with holes. Rolled it up in a ball, threw it across my house into like this little opening on the trash can and just nailed it. I was like, that's going on TikTok.
Yeah.
So now my kids walk around going, socks with holes, socks with holes. Like, man, I should have gotten the rap game a long time ago.
You should have.
Nothing better than a 40-year-old white man throwing down rhymes.
Yeah. Good shit.
Nos is probably next. Get those recommendations in now or forever hold your peace. And if we offended you by saying Dire Straits sucks, we apologize. Also want to take this time to throw some appreciation out towards anybody who's listening. We may not have a money-making amount of listeners or anything like that early on in this podcast, but I have had quite a few people either message me or come up to me and be like, I started listening to the podcast that you guys are doing. I started to follow along. I'm on this album by this band. And, you know, that is very cool. That is very, cool. Very, very cool. One, because you're spending your very short time on this earth. Thank God you're not spending it listening to Mark Knopfler, but you're spending it listening to us and following along with us and listening to the albums. And that is it is very, very much appreciated and very, very cool that anyone digs this enough to listen to the albums with us. Because like we said, every episode for the last 4 or 5, this shit is hard. So it's not easy on you either. Some of you that followed the Dire Straits train straight into hell know what I'm talking about. It's not easy. But we definitely appreciate that you're doing that. And I would even venture to say that we would have done tonight's episode even if the 5G would have made us sick this week. We might have still done it.
Yeah, I think so too. And with the Dire Straits review, I'm glad that we did it. Now we know. This is what this is about.
And this is one of those things about people on YouTube. Going to go on a small rant. It'll be short, I promise. But all these reaction channels and people reviewing albums and people reviewing songs on YouTube, it's always rainbows and sunshine just crammed up your ass. And I'm glad. I don't mind when we do a shitty band. One, because we get to listen to other stuff.
Yeah.
2, because every episode can't be sunshine and rainbows. We're not going to come on here and be like, Dire Straits just knocked it out of the park with that song Romeo and Juliet. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Like Taylor Swift's version of Romeo and Juliet blows Dire Straits' version of Romeo and Juliet out of the water. It's good to know. It's just good to know that when a Dire Straits song comes on the radio that's not one of those big 3, I can turn that shit off. I know now. I know that I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to wonder anymore. If someone's like, have you ever listened to all of Dire Straits? I can be like, yes, I don't recommend it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you foresee, I'm kind of taking a few steps forward. Do you foresee like a recap in our future regarding the artists that we reviewed?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be fun. Like, yeah, doing a, I don't know what time period would be best. I mean, I'm open to anything, but yeah, I think it would be fun. I don't know what the right number is. Like, I don't know if it's 10, 15, 20, like doing a little ranking show of what opened our eyes in order of first, which would be the Beastie Boys right now, and on down to Dire Straits at the bottom. So giving it away already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it would be fun. I mean, that could be
too.
in store. That could be in store just about any time. I'll actually pull up the podcast and let's see how many bands we have done so far.
Yeah.
We've got this would be, we'll count backwards. So Dire Straits is 1, Queen is 2, Casey Musgraves is 3. Don't know how she snuck in there, but she did, and I'm glad I did that too.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys are 4, Wu-Tang's 5, Sabbath is 6. Tool was a bonus episode, doesn't count. Stooges were 7, Tom Petty's 8, The Police are 9, Stones are 10, Beatles are 11. So that's 11.
Okay.
What do you think? 15? After when we hit 15 bands, we do a recap of the 15 bands we listen to. Does that sound like a plan?
I agree. Yeah, that sounds good.
We can spend about 30 seconds of that episode on Dire Straits.
Then we'll talk about ice cream flavors.
Oh, cookies and cream all day.
Oh,
cookies
yeah,
and cream.
Good stuff.
Even the cheap shit's good. Even it's got the Save-A-Lot brand Oreos in there. Still good in ice cream.
Oh, it's still good. Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah.
But yeah, 15 sounds about right.
Okay.
15 bands, run them top to bottom, bands / artists, whatever. And
I've already got the list planned out.
I think I already know it too. I
bet they
I know 1 and 15 already, unless someone in the next 4 kicks our ass.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
I don't know if anybody can dethrone the Beastie Boys. Even my kids, we get in the car and they're like, Daddy, Jude, I love this shit. I'll get in. My youngest, will not surprisingly say, I want to listen to Intergalactic. Okay. No problem.
How old is he?
7-year-old, Connor's 4 that wants Intergalactic. Jude is 7. We'll get in. Jude will be like, hey, Daddy, play the new style. And I'll be like, yes. And every time both of them look at each other and they're like, drop. I'm like, I am the proudest dad of all time right now. That's like, even though he's like, Jack and Mike D, like they hear that. I'm still proud. Yeah. I'm still proud. Like, I know they're hearing stuff they probably shouldn't hear, but I'm proud. If they get all that cursing. Oh shit, I already forgot, but before the episode was on, I was just walking around this studio yelling, a lot of girls, a lot of beers, and lots of cursing. 22 automatic on my person. Like, even, they get that out of their system. It's okay to hear some bad words every once in a while.
It's good for them.
Somewhere. Yeah.
They're going to hear it no matter what. So,
just disregard the fact that my 4-year-old son has, dropped something before and be like, God damn it. Hey, Connor. And he'll be like, at least he's using it in the right context.
Don't let your mother hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, she's heard it. We both look at each other and put the hand over your mouth and you're laughing. You don't want them to see that it's funny. But yeah, it's Beastie Boys kick my ass still. I'm still listening to them today. I thought I was getting burnt out a couple days ago. I was like, okay, I got to get off the Beasties. And it just couple Dire Straits song was all I needed to go right back to them. It was like Dire Straits was like, trying to come, not do drugs. And then as soon as no one's looking, you're like, beasties right there in the arm.
Oh yeah.
Got me pumped right back up.
Oh,
to be clear, I've never done hardcore drugs, and that's the truth. But it's fun to joke about them.
Sure.
Nos is next. Nobody else suggested anything. Are you cool with that, Hicks? Nos?
I'm cool with that. How many studio albums do we have to review for Nos?
Let's look it up. Nos, not Lil Nas, which I still recommend. And I don't think you probably haven't watched that Montero video yet, but I want you to, and I want you to tell me what you thought about it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Dude, it's unlike anything you've ever seen in your life. That's all I'll say. Watch that Lil Nas X Montero video and then message me immediately and tell me your thoughts.
I will.
It's that interesting.
Yeah.
I pulled Nas up on the wrong thing. Nas discography. I don't think it's bad. I want to say it's 12 or less.
Good.
Nas. 13. I was close. Okay. 13 albums. That is a lot, but we can do it, I think.
I think so too.
How many was the Rolling Stones? It was a shit ton.
About 300.
300. And I'm sure some of these albums are probably not going to be the greatest. What did you send me the other day? You skipped ahead in somebody's discography. I'll have to show you the picture you sent me. You listened to had like kids in a row on the album cover. Was that Nas or was that someone else?
It was Nas with Kanye. Oh shit. I've got it right here.
Yeah, what was that? Because I've listened to a little bit of that album before.
Cops
when you sent me that.
Shot the Kid.
Yeah. Cops Shot the Kid.
Nas and Kanye. Oh my gosh, that song. Now that shit got my attention.
Yeah. I've listened. I think I've listened to that. Is that a Nas album or it's not a Kanye album, or is it just did they do the whole album together, or was that just, I can't remember. That's
by Nas.
So is that part of his discography?
The album is titled, I'm sorry, I've been drinking, Nasir.
Nasir.
Yeah, that's the album 2018.
2018. I listened to some of that when it came out. And I remember, because I don't know why I listened to it. What I do is every Friday I look and see what albums come out.
Okay.
And if a big name artist jumps out, that's how I fell in love with the last two Taylor Swift albums.
You message Hicks.
What is it?
I said then you message Hicks.
Then I message Hicks.
I appreciate
but whenever a big name artist comes out with an album and no one else is really on there for that week, I'll check it out real quick. And I think I checked out this Nasir album and I was like, man, this is good. So I at least know that one of his later albums are good and his first album. So Brandy says, so my daughter's sitting here while I'm listening, and now she's describing the Nos video to me. I've never seen it. Maybe I need to monitor her internet usage better. It'll be okay, Brandy. It's going to be fine.
Go watch it anyways.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Just put on WAP and walk away. It's fine. No big deal. Grab a bucket and a mop. It's fine.
Yeah. But I'm kind of I feel good about the Nos review. I'm looking forward to it. I have a good feeling about it.
The only thing I worry about is, when an artist has 13 albums, that there's going to be some moments in there that aren't so great. I mean, the thing with Nas is he has not exactly stood the test of time. I do know that. Like, I know that his first handful of albums, like the first half might be Queen-like, and then he kind of falls off hard, but it might just be because of his style, which we like his style. So he might not fall off hard for us. He might have fallen off hard when Lil Wayne started releasing records, or Lil Xan or Xanny or Lil, I don't know what the fuck these guys' names are. They're all Lil. They're all Lil now. Yeah.
Lil Zero Bar.
Lil Zero Bar. Lil Frozen Jackson Pool Zero Bar. Lil Whatchamacallit. I could be Lil Whatchamacallit.
Why don't they make a little whatchamacallits? They make other little mini candy bars.
That is the most mind-blowing statement I've heard all year.
That's bullshit.
Why is there not? And some of those minis are the best ones.
Yes, they are.
We need many whatchamacallits.
Yes, bullshit.
What is going on? Who makes what? Is that Mars Bar that makes whatchamacallit? We need to find this out. We need to send an email. Yeah. We need to send some emails. I want to know why we don't have that. Is Hicks, you blew my mind. You blew my mind. I want to know where many whatchamacallits are and why they're not in there with Mr. Goodbar and Crackle. Where are they?
Yeah. Mr. Goodbar. There's like
is there even a full size Mr. Goodbar anymore? There's only minis.
No, there's just minis. And I remember there's one.
Oh shit.
Well, there's one that's just pure shit that's in that mix.
Yes, there is. Is it dark? Yeah, Hershey's dark?
I think it's like
I hate dark chocolate. Man.
I hate dark chocolate.
Like
you'll have like 38 Hershey darks in your mouth.
And I eat ass, and I still think it tastes like ass. Lay off the drinks, Barker.
Oh shit! Oh shit! 38 special darks and one Mr. Goodbar.
Oh yeah, man, look at me! I have to eat it to get by. Like, gotta do something to get your name out there. Where's the little whatchamacallits?
Yeah,
let's transition back into that.
Oh shit!
Oh, that's our episode, folks.
Yeah, Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You want to talk about a band the police outdone tenfold? That would be Dire Straits. Fucking crying. It's not because I have pink eye.
Oh, did we lose everybody?
I think they're all gone. They all left. Except for James Ward. That motherfucker's hardcore loyal.
He's
hardcore loyal. He's checking his mailbox right now. He went out to the mailbox twice during this episode. Looking for that bottle of bourbon and that old podcast t-shirt. And a mini whatchamacallit. I think the 5G did something to us, Hicks. I think something's wrong.
I think it's to our benefit, though. I think it's to our benefit.
I think it is, too. I think our superpower became funny. I think it became funny.
Yeah.
All right. I think the calm has settled in. I think I'm okay now. Wrap it up. Dire Straits sucks. Nothing else to be said. 3 good songs out of how many albums? 7? 6 or 7 albums, 3 good songs.
Yeah.
Hicks has 3.5 because one of those songs you thought was okay for a minute.
Yeah.
James Ward says shit. I don't know why you just said shit. Maybe you're laughing so hard you just said, shit. Or maybe Dire Straits.
Maybe he just opened his mailbox.
He might have just opened his mailbox. Yeah,
it was empty.
It was empty, except for just a little speck of poo.
Oh, man.
We'll see you guys next week. We're going to listen to Nos. No one had anything to suggest, even though you're watching. We see you watching. It tells us how many people are watching. I can see exactly how many people are watching.
That's
Still,
right.
Nobody suggested anything. That must mean they want to hear Nos.
Sounds good to me.
Again. Not Lil Nas X, just Nos.
Mm-hmm. Big Nos.
Hicks, watch that Montero video.
Sure will.
And message me immediately after you watch it. It's that intriguing. I have never seen anything like it.
Well, you have yet to let me down, so I believe you.
I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm just saying it is interesting.
I got you.
The song I thought sounded like something I've never heard. I thought it was actually the song itself was pushing the envelope, in my opinion. It was something I've never heard before. I was like, this song has got a groove to it that I'm really digging. The video, however, will either make you uncomfortable or say, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Or say, this is 2021.
Okay.
It is very, very interesting. Didn't bother me. Made me feel a little bit odd because I'd never seen anything like it. I was just like, this motherfucker's got balls.
Okay.
Lil Nas X has some balls.
Okay.
To put something like that out in the world we're living in today, which is, the conservative, progressive power struggle. Very interesting video. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it. But again, Dire Straits suck balls. Real bad. Worse than I ever thought they could have. Nothing else to say about that. Any parting words, Hicks?
No, sir.
Could you, what? Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
One sentence about Dire Straits.
Don't do it.
Don't fucking do it. Eat a candy bar.
You've heard the hits. Don't do it. You've heard what's
Thank you for listening to Stuck in My Generation. Again, if you want to suggest bands for us to listen to, send it over to stuckinmygeneration@gmail.com.